Welcome to a lesson in the National Ready Mixed Concrete Association's online safety series, Working Safely Around Concrete Pumps. It consists of a two-part video followed by a short quiz at the end of the second video.
For the past 50 years, pumps have been used to place countless cubic yards of ready mixed concrete. There are two key reasons. The first is that a delivery can be completed much faster with less labor. The second is the pump's delivery hose allows concrete to be placed in locations where mixer trucks can't reach. As a mixer truck driver, please be aware that pump sites have numerous safety hazards. When safety procedures aren't correctly practiced, drivers, pump operators, and finishing crews can be seriously injured or killed. Everyone must be vigilant about using safe work practices. In this lesson, we'll cover 4 major topics: safety factors before discharging into a pump, basic information about concrete pumps, safe pump concrete placement, and pump job safety hazards that require extra caution. Let's get started.
At the plant, after your mixer truck is loaded with concrete for the pump job, visually look into the drum and make absolutely certain that the correct mix design was batched. Never leave the plant with an improper load of concrete. The wrong mix design can cause a pump line to plug, disrupt concrete placement, and to create serious safety hazards. Also, check your truck mirrors and make certain they are clean for backing purposes. When you arrive at the job site, park your truck in a safe location, engage the brakes, and turn on your four-way flashers and headlights. In the cab, check your delivery ticket for any special instructions. And from this high vantage point, look for power line locations, soft soil, potholes, vehicles, mobile equipment, tree stumps, and any other potential hazards. Be prepared to wear a hard hat, hearing protection, safety glasses with side shields, and gloves. As you walk the job site, don't take it for granted that the pump is in a location that is safe for you to drive into or to back up to the pump. It's your responsibility to make absolutely sure that the pathway is safe. Has a rainstorm or freeze-thaw adversely impacted the pathway? Will you turn your truck around or will you back to the pump? Does the pathway have a dangerous slope or grade? Are there building eaves or overhangs? Are there any overhead power or electrical lines in your pathway? If they are present, are the pump truck and the boom a safe distance away from them? If your truck will be positioned beside another mixer truck at the pump, is the pathway wide enough? And is the delivery pad compacted for both trucks? Finally, are there construction workers in the immediate vicinity? When you are done with your boots on the ground tour, introduce yourself to your point of contact. This person's name could be on your delivery ticket. Ask who will be your spotter. Have the person point out the pump operator and the pump assistant. Identify who will attend the pump hopper and communicate with you while concrete is discharged from your mixer. On small or medium jobs, the site coordinator or the pump operator may actually perform all of the pump tasks. On large placements, the pump operator may be a substantial distance away operating the boom by remote control. At the same time, the pump operator assistant will be at the pump hopper communicating directly with you. Establish a system of communication for safe mixer truck entry, backing, and parking when you meet your spotter. Discuss and demonstrate the hand and arm signals that you want the spotter to use. The spotter should use your hand signals because he's assisting you backing your truck. As you enter the job site, never drive your mixer under the boom of the concrete pump. It is possible that the boom line's hydraulic pressure could be lost, causing it to fall. The American Concrete Pumping Association recommends that a mixer truck driver stop the truck at least 10 feet in front of the pump. If the pump assistant or the pump operator is not ready for you to drive to the hopper, stop. Stay in your truck until you get the signal to move. Whether backing or driving to the hopper, make sure that you can see the spotter in your mirrors or through your windshield. Do not move your truck if the spotter steps between your truck and the pump hopper. During the truck movement, make certain that your main chute assembly discharge chute is locked into position. Spotters and pump assistants may want you to extend the chute so they can hold the main chute assembly and guide it to the hopper. Do not allow them to hold the chutes during truck movement. Only after you park the mixer, then you should unlock and extend the chutes. As you align the mixer truck with the pump hopper, if the mixer hits any part of the pump, immediately tell the pump operator or the pump assistant. Often, 2 mixer trucks are at the pump hopper at the same time. As the spotter assists you, make absolutely sure there is enough space between your truck and the other mixer truck. Once at the hopper, stop your mixer truck, engage the brakes, and turn on your four-way flashers and headlights. If you're required to chock your wheels, do so, but remember to remove and stow the chocks before leaving. If you and another driver are discharging concrete at the same time, both chutes will extend into the hopper. In this position, there can be blind spots. Whether you drive a rear or a front discharge truck, always, repeat, always stand to the side of the mixer truck. Never stand between the mixer truck and a pump hopper or between the 2 mixer trucks when they are moving. Also, stay clear of the elbow and the pump coupling at the hopper. As you spray water down your chute before starting to discharge concrete, don't get the water on the pump hopper. When done, wait to begin to discharge into the hopper until the pump operator or the pump assistant signals for you to start. Now that you're positioned at the hopper, let's talk about the actual pumps. Concrete pumps are designed in different sizes to fit the type of the job. There are smaller pumps that are pulled by various vehicles or that may be on a smaller truck. They just use ground delivery hose lines. Then there are the larger trucks with mounted pumps and mechanical arms or boom sections connected with steel bushings. Concrete boom pump trucks are the most recognizable, with booms supporting pipes and hose lines. They push ready-mix concrete to the point of placement. The boom pump truck transports concrete to places where mixer trucks simply can't reach. On larger trucks, placing booms can have up to 5 sections extending up and out 200 feet. The heavy weight of the boom and their high arching configuration can make the boom truck unstable, especially in high winds. So, to reduce this hazard, boom trucks have outriggers that stabilize the truck. Dunnage pads are placed between an outrigger foot and the ground to further increase truck stability. Be aware, outriggers can be a tripping hazard, so you must watch where you walk. The height of the outrigger arms is about the same as a person's shoulder or head height. That requires you to be watchful so you avoid hitting your head on the outrigger's arms. And finally, if the outrigger's dunnage pads appear to be loose or giving way, notify the pump operator immediately. If there are concrete pump hoses and pipelines on the ground, do not step on, walk on, stand on, or straddle them. Your weight could cause a coupling to separate and the delivery hose to whip violently. Don't depend on anyone else for your safety. Use your eyes and ears to protect yourself in these areas. At the bottom of every pump hopper is a very powerful valve. As the valve opens and closes, it pushes concrete into hydraulic cylinders. The cylinders then push the concrete through the placing line sections and into and out of the placement hose. Let's itemize the hazards to avoid here. You must never stand on or take off the hopper grate. Avoid slips, trips, and falls around the hopper from an oil compound sprayed on the hopper. If you have the first load of concrete for the pump, the operator or assistant may prime the pump, so stay a safe distance from the hopper and the priming pressure until this task is completed. This concludes the first half of the lesson, Working Safely Around Concrete Pumps. Welcome to the second part of the National Ready Mixed Concrete Association's online safety series, Working Safely Around Concrete Pumps. This video is followed by a short quiz. Now, whether you're alone or delivering with another driver, it is critical for you to individually communicate with the operator or the pump operator's assistant. Now, make certain that you agree upon and that you understand the operator or the assistant's hand and arm signals. At this point, this is his pump, and you need to understand and use his signals. Have the operator or assistant tell you what the desired concrete discharge rate is. Ask how you signal and to whom when your concrete is getting low in the drum. During the discharge process, you have 4 critical tasks. The first is to wear the proper PPE and to keep a safe distance from the pump hopper during discharge. Concrete can splash on you, causing skin and eye damage. Also, whether your mixer truck drum is full or almost empty, it is your job to make certain that concrete steadily and safely flows into the hopper at a rate determined by the pump operator or the pump operator's assistant. The second task is to monitor your truck concrete discharge rate. Your concrete shouldn't discharge too fast, causing pump hopper overflow, nor should it discharge too slowly, causing insufficient concrete into the hopper. If you can't keep the pace with the required discharge rate set by the operator or his assistant, let them know immediately. Additionally, if you see concrete leaking or bulging at the side of a pump hopper coupling, or a bulge at a reducer, in the hose, or at an elbow, you should signal to the pump operator or assistant that you're stopping your concrete discharge. In some cases, for added safety with these conditions, some ready-mix concrete companies and contractors either request or require protective pump wraps that cover or encase the pump piping around or near the pump hopper. Finally, you must inform the pump operator or the assistant if a concrete chunk falls into the hopper, since it could block or slow the flow of concrete out of the hopper. If the concrete flow is partially or totally restricted by the chunk of concrete, instead of concrete entering the pump line, air enters in its place. When air infiltrates the pump system, pressure increases. In some cases, it can increase to the point that a hose coupling could release without warning, whip around uncontrollably, and send concrete projectiles flying everywhere or even burp out of the hopper. The spraying concrete can make a huge mess, but more dangerously, it moves so haphazardly and with such force, it could cause serious injury to the people in the vicinity. With the proper communication, you can help the pump operator or assistant avoid air or foreign material in the line. If you observe air, foreign material, or concrete chunks entering the hopper, you should immediately notify the pump operator or assistant. You need to understand it's the pump operator's or the assistant's responsibility to dislodge a plug and release the pressure in the line. It's not your job to attempt to fix this problem. It is the responsibility of the pump operator or assistant to communicate emergency procedures in the event of a concrete plug or any other hazardous condition that develops. The operator and assistant are trained about what to do in case the concrete stops moving through the entire delivery system. The operator or assistant must show you what they want you, the driver, to do. In some cases, pumps have rear horns, and you may be asked to push the horn as a danger signal. In other cases, you may be asked to push the pump's emergency stop, sometimes called the e-stop. The operator or the assistant must show you where the horn and the e-stop are located and how to operate them. If you're driving a front discharge mixer and are in the cab during the concrete discharge process, instead of using the pump horn or the e-stop, you may be instructed to blow the mixer truck horn twice to alert the concrete pump operator or assistant that you're stopping concrete discharge. According to the American Concrete Pumping Association, you should only push the e-stop or the horn when you can't get the attention of the pump operator or assistant. If you're unsure about any potential imminent safety hazard or concrete flow blockage, it is always best to push the e-stop or the horn. An additional note of caution here. Your company or the pump company could have rules about you not being authorized to operate another company's piece of equipment. So if you're not allowed to activate the pump horn or the emergency stop, you must discuss this with the pump operator or the assistant before you start the discharge of concrete into the hopper. A special note here. If you are the last truck at the pump concrete placement job, and if there is remaining concrete in the line, the pump operator or assistant may want to discharge any remaining concrete back into your mixer truck drum. Only if your company policy permits this procedure, and only if your dispatcher approves it, should you go ahead. Now, if you're allowed, and if you've communicated your approval, then the pump operator or the assistant will perform this function because technically this is a pump placement function. It is the responsibility of the pump operator to remotely guide the hose into your drum. You shouldn't ever climb up the mixer truck ladder or stand on its platform to guide the hose into the drum. The hose could whip and possibly injure or kill you. Once the concrete delivery process to the pump is completed, drive your mixer truck to the designated chute rinse-off area. You probably won't be permitted to rinse your chutes into the pump hopper because added water will change the consistency of the concrete being pumped and can cause complications with the mix and the flow. You only rinse your chute into the pump hopper if allowed and with permission from the pump operator or the assistant. When leaving the job site, walk a 360-degree circle around your truck, making certain that all conditions with the truck and the surroundings are safe. When driving off the job site, carefully observe mobile equipment, other vehicles, job site workers, and any ground or pathway hazards. If you're driving a front discharge mixer truck, make sure that your mirrors are clean and that you can see the spotter assisting you when backing and turning your mixer truck to leave the area. There is a danger zone around the delivery hose. That danger zone is twice the length of the delivery hose. So if a hose is 10 feet in length, your personal safety zone is a circle of at least 20 feet. The flexible hose at the end of the boom can whip violently. If air gets in the line and there is a restriction, like a blockage that won't move, It causes air to compress, building up pressure. The blockage typically happens at a reducer, a bend, at the outlet of the pump, or in the flexible delivery rubber hose. Frayed or worn delivery hoses can kink, building pressure to the point that the hose or the pipe bursts, spraying concrete everywhere, as well as the hose jerking violently. Therefore, stay in your safety zone. If concrete is being placed near you, stay a safe distance from the hose. Additionally, never stand near a placing line when it's being opened. Instead, it's a good idea to use the time to scrape your chute clean and to rinse it to keep chunks from possibly forming. In addition to hose whip, another deadly hazard is electric power lines at the pump job site. High voltage power lines are the #1 killer of concrete pump operators. So, one of the very first questions you must ask yourself, where are the power lines? Write this power line location information on your ticket, as well as any other job site hazards. Always assume that power lines are live at all times. Be on the lookout for temporary power lines that are in a dangerous place and are too low. A hazard can occur when a pump line blockage causes the boom to sway and to hit a power line. A hazard can occur when strong winds cause the boom to sway. Even if the pump boom never comes into contact with power lines, power can arc, jump, and travel to any ground source. Electricity can flow from the pump boom into the hopper and into your mixer truck drum, resulting in injury or death. Therefore, on all pump jobs, you must continuously monitor the pump boom's location and your physical location in relation to all electrical lines. The National Ready Mixed Concrete Association and the American Concrete Pumping Association recommend pump operators keep the boom and all equipment a minimum of 20 feet from energized electrical lines. For high voltage power lines, it is recommended the boom be kept a minimum of 50 feet away. If you see a pump operator closer than 20 feet from a power line, immediately notify the operator and your dispatcher. You could be asked to wait in a safe location until the pump operator moves the pump truck. If the pump operator cannot locate the pump 20 feet or more away from the power line, then the electrical utility company will have to isolate the power line before pump operation can occur. You, the mixer driver, must never let anyone pressure you into discharging concrete into the pump until the proper distance from power lines is established for the pump truck or until the line is isolated properly. Finally, do not pump concrete into the hopper if there is thunder or lightning. Follow your company policy and be safe.
Thanks for watching. In this time, we've covered a lot of material. We realize that because pump job deliveries may require mixer trucks to arrive at a swift pace and discharge concrete very efficiently, you may feel more pressured in this environment. While the pump delivery schedule is important, you must never take safety shortcuts. Observe and listen to everything around you. Never assume that other people will be your backup safety alert system. They're focused on their jobs, not yours. We've outlined what you, the driver, need to do to remain safe at concrete placement jobs. Wear your required PPE. Communicate correctly with the pump operator, assistant, and/or site coordinator. Deal safely with a congested pump site. Use a spotter correctly. Maintain awareness around all electric power lines and booms. And discharge concrete into the pump hopper at a rate specified by the operator or assistant to avoid hose whips. You, the driver, are responsible for using safe work methods to avoid accidents. Respect and expect the unexpected. There is no job so important and no task so urgent that we can't take the time to perform our work safely.
Special thanks to Simstone, Mendota Heights, Minnesota, for graciously inviting us to film this safety video with them. There are 6 questions on this quiz. After you answer all 6 questions, you will immediately receive your score. If you pass, you can print your certificate of completion. If you do not pass, you can retake the test.